Hey guys, it's Brittany with Illuminating Bliss, and I know I'm kind of late, but I wanted to hop on and kind of share a little bit about what I've been picking up with the energy of the Cancer new moon and just kind of chat with you guys a bit. Um, this video is very chill, it's very just impromptu. It was not planned at all. I kind of took a little bit of a break the past 2 weeks with making videos to just focus in on a couple other things and really kind of just get my bearings with some stuff. So this is going to be very relaxed. You'll probably notice that about a lot of my videos, they're just kind of very like, here you go, here's the information. It's not going to be a lot of editing or anything like that. I don't have any interest in being that type of channel at this time. I'm really just focused in on getting the information to you guys and helping the people who I'm able to help. Not really with the production or the editing side of anything. So first off, this new moon is an extremely powerful energy, and that's partially because of all the other energies at play at this time. You know, we were in retrograde season. We officially started Mercury retrograde last week, I believe it was the 18th, and yes, I believe it was the 18th that we went from shadow into full-blown Mercury retrograde. We're also seeing a lot of influence in Saturn, and that's affecting a lot of people in the way that they're perceiving success and business and a lot of things of that nature. But what I really want to say to you guys about retrogrades in general is because I feel like they've been kind of demonized, and like, yeah, they do shake things up, but that's what they're designed to do. If we're never uncomfortable, then we will get complacent and stay where we are. In a lot of cases, a lot of people are not disciplined enough to make the proper adjustments and necessary changes so that they can be in alignment without being uncomfortable. And so I personally feel like all retrogrades are a chance to level up, get called out on your bullshit, download and upgrade our own personal systems. So, don't look at it as discrepancy or just trouble and a bunch of issues. Look at it from a sense of, yes, this is what's happening right now. Now, how can I make myself better? How can I use this energy to affect my life positively? Yasmin Bland came out with a really great reference guide as far as Mercury retrograde goes. It's literally called Mercury retrograde, and she talks about I think they're the 3 R's, but it's like revisit, regroup, reorganize, or something like that. Basically, Mercury retrograde is about getting a kick in your ass and getting shit done. It's just not about getting new stuff done. And that's really great, because how often are we given the opportunity to finish things that we didn't get to finish, or that we wish we had done differently? So we really can use that to the best of our abilities if we try. So that's just something, that's one layer to be aware of. If you see me looking down, it's because I have my notes right here on my lap. I am a note taker. So the other thing to be aware of is that this new moon has an extremely healing quality. So for some of us, this is going to be the prime time to set intentions to heal the things that are being brought to our attention because of these retrogrades. Anything that's out of alignment with your communication, with your career, with anything that's being dredged up right now, set the intention to heal those things, and set the intention to heal the triggers that they brought up in you. Um, you're being shown these things for a reason, and you don't just have to sit around and deal with them. You can choose to actively participate in your life and heal them. Set the intention and manifest your healing. There is a lot of guides and a lot of people's spirit teams wanting to be active and come through and support and help their loved ones right now. So because of that, I think that it's important to create space so that you can hear and receive whatever messages are trying to come through for you. So it's so easy to lose track of the fact that sometimes silence is needed. But turn the TV off. Like, you don't need the background noise. You turn the music off. Sit with yourself. Unplug. That's really what it boils down to, is unplug and allow yourself to receive direction and information, guidance, love, support from the divine. Because with how many days do, like, we wake up and we're going. So, like, you're dealing with your kids, you're dealing with your spouse, you're going to work, you're doing this, you're doing that. And then you come home and, like, the TV's on and you're cooking dinner and you're doing all these things. And by the time you go to bed, it doesn't even dawn on you that you may have not had a moment of silence that whole day. Could you hear your higher self over the TV? Could you, if they were trying to reach out to you, could you hear your higher self? Could you hear your internal compass? Could you hear God? Probably not. So make sure you're taking that time to unplug and to listen out to signs, synchronicities, feelings. Don't discredit your own personal feelings, your gut feelings, because they have significance. A lot of people are feeling tired and helpless, and some of this is energetically, and some of it has to do with just flat out what's going on in the world right now. And because of that, I was led to share with you guys basically a ritual that you can do. And it's very simple. All you need is a cup. So any cup. This cup actually has my tea in it, but a cup and some water. You can use tap water or bottled water, whatever. At one point you're going to be drinking the water, so you might not want to drink tap water, depending on where you are or how you feel about tap water to begin with. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill the cup up. You're going to kind of hold it up in front of yourself, kind of like presenting it, and you're going to state, I release and let go of any energy and soul pieces that are not mine. And at that time, obviously, don't do it on your carpet. Step outside and pour the water onto the ground. And just stay with yourself there for a moment. Acknowledge that space of release. Then you're going to take the same cup, fill it up again. You're going to present it, and you're going to state, I call back all soul pieces and energy that belongs to me through all space and time now. And then you drink that cup, and you need to make sure you drink it completely. This can be done a few times in a row if you feel like it's needed. It can be repeated at a later date. I know the first time that I did it, I was actually instructed by my guides that it was best for me to repeat it over a 6-week period. So I ended up doing it 3 times. So I waited a few weeks, and then I did it again a few weeks after that. So this can be done at any time, but if you're struggling with feeling tired and drained and helpless, like you just feel like you are not in control, it's time to call your power back. Use this new moon to call your power back. And I feel like if you really allow yourself the time to really be with yourself and sit with yourself, after you do it, you really do feel an energetic shift. Now, I know that this doesn't have to do with the new moon, but as the sun moves into Cancer, people are going to start feeling very emotional, but very guarded at the same time. Like they're going to have a lot of emotional turmoil within themselves, but not really be able to express it. And it's going to be very important. And I'm going to emphasize this because this is something that a lot of people don't realize that they struggle with. It's going to be very important to avoid healing yourself by doing and trying to heal others. Do not try to avoid your shit by working on and helping others. Nobody needs you more than you need yourself, outside of maybe your children, or if you have elderly parents who you're taking care of or something along those lines. Nobody needs you more than you need yourself. Do not fall into that pitfall. Do not fall into that category where you're avoiding your own work by trying to work on somebody else, because that's not going to be productive. Not only will it not be productive, but it's going to lead to resentment on both sides. It's going to have a negative impact on those relationships in the long run if you choose to do that. Set the intention tonight. If this feels like it applies to you, set the intention tonight that you have the strength to face your own flaws and fears, and that you have permission, that you're giving yourself permission to put yourself first. I know it sounds silly, but we don't realize how many times we actually don't put ourselves first because we don't feel like we have permission to do that. So set the intention. If that feels like it's calling to your spirit, that's okay. We have all been there at different points in our life. That's okay, but acknowledge it and set the intention so that you don't fall into that pitfall. If you don't feel like you have anything planned for tonight, or you're kind of at like a loss of what to do, it's a perfect time to get clear about what it is that you want. What you want to call into your life. What will make you happy. A lot of times we manifest things that we think we want, and then we get them and we're like, "Ooh, but I didn't want it like this." Get clear and specific about what it is that you want. Because if you don't, you will get it and be thoroughly disappointed because it's not the way that you thought it would be. So get clear and specific about what it is that you want. And then ask yourself what it's worth to you, because everything is an energetic exchange, including manifestation. Not only that, but the way that energy works, when you release one thing, it creates a gap or a hole for energy to come and fill that space. So when you release something or say, I surrender this with the intention of making space for XYZ in my life, you are creating basically a vacuum to suck that into your life. And that is so powerful. And so many people manifest without realizing that they have to create space for the manifestation, or that they need to specify the way they would like this to show up in their life, because it may not be what they really want. It may not be what they're really asking for. What is the root of what you're asking for? And then once you figure out what the root is, then you have to ask yourself, on my end, what can I do to bring this forward because closed mouths don't get fed. And the way that spirit works, even the good book says God helps those who help themselves. So what can you do on your end of things to create space and to help facilitate bringing that forward? What things do you have going on in your life that perpetually would block or stop this from coming in? And are you in alignment with this goal? Is this goal in alignment with your life and with your purpose, with your mission here on earth? Because a lot of times we be asking for stuff and it's really not for us. And you'll know, because your gut, it won't feel right. It won't feel right. So what will you need to sacrifice in order to keep that scale balanced when receiving what it is that you really want? And an easy way to work on this would be to perform a short fire ceremony. Now with that, all you need is a pen and paper and a fire safe bowl. So it's very, very easy. When you've clarified what your intent is, what it is that you really want, what's at the root of that, and if you genuinely feel like it's in alignment with your life, go ahead and write it out. Then go ahead and write out what it is exactly that you know that you need to release and let go, or what you're willing to sacrifice to bring these things into your life, and ignite them, and let them be released into the universe. And after that's done, claim it like it's already happened. Don't allow yourself to be sitting there with doubts and acting like you don't know if it's really going to work, or you don't know if you're really deserving. Have tunnel vision. Have tunnel vision on the goal and claim it like it's already happened. Celebrate it and thank God and the universe for what's coming to you like you already got it. Function in gratitude, so that, you know, when we're grateful and we're resonating in thankfulness and positivity, we attract more of that into our lives. And when we focus on lack or disappointment or fear or any number of other possible emotions, when it comes to wanting to bring something into your life, we amplify that and we attract more of that into our lives. So a lot of people sit down and say, well, I don't know, I try to manifest, it doesn't work. Well, are you functioning in gratitude, or are you saying, well, I'll be thankful for it when it gets here because I don't think it's coming? Well, if you already think it's not coming, what's the point? You've already claimed it. So celebrate it and thank God and the universe like it's already happened. Some ways that I like to do this is in prayer, in visualization. You can close your eyes, and even if you have to talk it out, visualize yourself living what it is that you want for the highest good. Or even a letter. And if you write a letter thanking God and thanking the universe for the wonderful things for the wonderful life that you're living, for the breath in your lungs, for the wonderful things that are coming your way, keep it and read it over again and read it over again and read it over again. And when you get into that place where it's hard and you're feeling triggered, pull the letter out and read it again. And when the intention that was set is met, go ahead and express gratitude again and release the letter. Take some extra time over the next few days to contemplate spirit and how it has worked in your life, how spirit has moved for you. Celebrate it. Celebrate the journey of spiritual transformation, knowing that we are never done. Allow yourself to see your journey and evaluate your daily habits. Ask for signs about your next step. Focus on your heart chakra, on your heart center, and divine compassion and love. Ask yourself, how can I bring more love into the world? How can I bring more love into myself? Am I functioning in divine love and compassion? And if not, that's okay. You know, we can all do better. We can all do better in that. And really ask yourself, how can I commit to bringing more love and compassion in the world? So I also felt the need to pull a few love notes from the universe, just as like a final message. And it's funny because I feel like they really kind of hit on what it is that I channeled beforehand. So first we have, it's not only about being right. And the back says, in all tests of character, when two viewpoints are pitted against each other, in the final analysis, the thing that will strike you the most is not who was right or wrong, strong or weak, wise or foolish, but who went to the greater length to consider the other's perspective. That is such a powerful statement. Just even what we were talking about a minute ago, literally 1 minute ago, with examining how spirit has moved in your life and how we can be more compassionate, how we can bring more love into the world. How can we be more compassionate with ourselves? How can we be more loving with ourselves? A lot of times when we start to examine ourselves, it's scary because we see parts of ourselves that we don't like. And spirit is saying it's not about being right. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being right. It's not about any of that. And just allowing yourself to see your wrongs and your pitfalls as learning opportunities. Knowing that your failures are lessons, and that even when you acknowledge flaws and failures in yourself, it's not a bad thing. It's an opportunity for you to do better. And we can't do better until we know better. So don't be hard on yourself. But don't be afraid to analyze yourself either, because it's important. Next, we have, you have options. The fact that you have options is meaningful. Rock on. And the back says, if I could make just 2 wishes, I wish I could somehow convey to you the profound depths of my gratitude for every moment of your life. I'd also wish that you could somehow know your unimaginable importance, just as you now are to the lives of so many. And of course, I'd wish for more wishes. So often we get so wrapped up in trying to know where we're going that options seem like a pitfall. Options seem like a headache. They seem like something that is more harm than good, because we get afraid of making the wrong choice. And the fact that we even get to examine options is so amazing, that we get options, that there's choices. It's an amazing thing to have free will and to co-create your life with the universe. And don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to make the wrong choice, because even in our failures, there are lessons. Even if we end up taking the longer route, you are significant and important as you are now, not because of where you're going. It's not about the destination. It's not about where we end up. It's about the journey. It's about the spiritual journey, where we've been, where we're going. But it's not about the conclusion of that journey. And honestly, does that journey ever really conclude? And then we have, your treasure is at hand. And the back says, sure, you can always find prettier, handsomer, skinnier, wiser, richer, younger, zippier. But more often than not, one learns the most, laughs the loudest, and smiles the widest with those we've already found, especially when they stop looking elsewhere. So, again, it's not about the final destination. It is about the journey, and it's about gratitude, being thankful for where we are right now, being thankful for the relationships and the people who have supported you thus far, whether they're still there or not. Being thankful for every choice, every option, every experience. Knowing that your gifts are here. Your gifts are in the present reality. So often we get caught up in the next thing and the next thing and the next thing that we don't appreciate the moment. Be thankful for where you are right now. Know that there's gifts in that moment. Know that you are not forsaken. You're not being looked over. You're not failing. You're not in limbo. Every stage and every transition has a gift. There is no such thing as wasted time or as a wasted relationship. We have to reprogram our brains. We have to stop looking at things like if they end or if they don't go according to plan. If we don't feel like we're successful by everybody else's standards, that we have we're somehow lacking in blessing and gifts from the divine. And that attracts more lack and leaves us in a place where we feel disconnected. Disconnected from ourselves and disconnected from the divine. And when we reprogram our minds to be thankful just for being, because we're not humans having a spiritual experience. We're spirit having a human experience. We chose to be here at this time. Wherever you are, we chose to be here. We chose to be a part of the world in this very moment. We chose our families. We chose our jobs. We chose our loved ones. We chose our experiences. We chose our failures. We chose our disappointments. We chose our heartaches. And not from a responsibility standpoint, but from a place where each and every one of us signed a life contract and decided that we wanted these experiences and decided that we would share these experiences with the people who each of us are tethered to. I think of people as like walking around with little red cords just pulling you gravitationally ever so slightly towards the people that we all agreed to meet and to experience life and joy and love and pain with, knowing that experience would be our greatest teacher, that it would lead us to higher consciousness, that it would lead us to understanding humanity and love better. And humanity is what the world needs right now. I feel like I'm rambling, but I also feel like maybe somebody needs to hear this. No matter where you are right now, you are not failing. You are loved. You are supported. And I challenge you, if you find yourself in a space right now where things feel bleak and it's hard to see the way that you're blessed, I challenge you to find something to be thankful for every day. Just what can I be thankful for today? And be thankful for that one thing. All right, guys. So this concludes my Cancer new moon video. If you have any questions, drop them below. One of my lovely followers asked me to attach my Cash App to my videos. So going forward, if you feel like these messages are helping you, or you feel called to and you'd like to make a donation, my Cash App will be below, as well as my Instagram, my website, my Facebook, if you want to connect with me more. So yeah, love to each and every one of you. Happy manifesting, and have a great night.